So what we just read is Jesus praying for his disciples, but did you notice that he not only prays for the people who are in the room with him? This is actually happening at the Last Supper on Maundy, Thursday. He not only prays for them, but he also prays for each of us, because he says, Father, not only will my disciples be one, but may also those that the disciples teach about the resurrection and witness to the resurrection, may they also be one as well. So, this idea of oneness, I've got one string, one rope. Jack, do you want to help me? No, you don't have to. That's okay. Oh, he does want to help me. All right, so I was just thinking about this idea of oneness, right? And this is my one rope. But what happens when you cut the rope? Then you have two, right? And it is no longer one. Thank you, Mr. Obvious, right? So I was thinking about you sure? You can use scissors. That's all right. I can. Bo, do you? Oh, okay, good. All right. So I'm gonna hold this. Is this good? Is this okay? All right. So So go ahead and cut right there. Awesome. Thank you, sir. So now I've got two, no longer one, right? And I was thinking about in our own lives sometimes where, the goal, I think, for us is to feel whole, right? We want to be a whole person. We want to be healthy in all different aspects of our lives, and that's what we mean by wholeness. But sometimes we aren't whole. Sometimes we might feel fractured. I was thinking about sometimes we might feel lonely and isolated, and that's an example of not being whole, not being one. But Jesus wants us to be whole. Jesus wants us to be whole human beings. So I'm gonna tie this back up here. All right, so we got one knot there. Now we're one again, but maybe not exactly perfect. Bo, do you wanna come? Have Bo. And you don't have to answer this. But if you're like me, in the course of your week, you might have an argument with somebody. And they might be your friend or a family member, but you might have an argument and you might say some things that you didn't mean to say, and all of a sudden you aren't whole anymore. Somebody who you were really close with, all of a sudden you're fractured and you're not whole, right? But Jesus prayed, and Jesus wants us to be whole. Now, one of the things that Jesus gave us, here, I'll take that. Thank you very much. One of the things that Jesus told us to do, and a tool that Jesus gave us, it's called forgiveness, right? And so when I tied that knot, I was thinking, even when you have an argument with somebody, even when you're mean to somebody, even when something really breaks your relationship, there is always room for wholeness. There's always room for forgiveness. Now, it may not be exactly like it was before, huh? Because you know what? Sometimes things get broken in ways that can't be put back together perfectly. And sometimes we feel isolated, but there's something that Jesus gave us for that too. Jesus gave us something called community. And because we are baptized, we're a part of a community called the church. And that's what Jesus was talking about, that we can be one with people all throughout time who are also baptized, who are also Christians. Did you know that you never have to feel isolated wherever you are in the world, because you are part of a family? And this church is your family. But guess what? There are very, very few places you could possibly go in the whole entire world where there is not a church family where you belong. You absolutely belong in a church, whether it's in Mogadishu, whether it's in Kyiv, Ukraine, whether it's in Tehran, Iran. There is a community of Christians, and you are a part of that community because, not really anything because of what you did, but because of the grace of God. All right, here's magic trick time. See? Grace. Yes. We're going to put the rope in here, and we're going to not say any magic words because this is church. So we're going to think about forgiveness, and we're going to think about community, and, it's maybe we'll put it back in again. Think about grace. Think about community. Oh, no. Well, you never know. You never know what can happen. And we believe that when Jesus returns, like we say every Sunday, Jesus is going to set right everything that isn't right. And broken relationships are going to be healed. And isolation is not going to be a thing anymore. Suffering will be no more. And God will wipe away every tear from our eyes. Amen.